सोही जानी। जो रमता सकल जहां, घट घट में जो रम रहा, उसको राम पहचान। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार रे। बेड़ा पार रे। बेड़ा पार। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार। हसी मन काहे को धरे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार। उदासी मन काहे को धरे रे। काहे को धरे रे। काहे को धरे। काहे को धरे। जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार। हसी मन काहे को धरे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार। हसी मन काहे को धरे हो। तेरा राम जी। नैया तेरी राम हवाले। लहर लहर हरि आप संभाले। नैया तेरी। नैया तेरी राम हवाले। लहर लहर हरि आप संभाले। हरि आप ही उठाए तेरा भार। हसी मन काहे को धरे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार। हसी मन काहे को धरे हो। तेरा राम जी। मझधार उसी के हाथों में। पतवार उसी की। काबू मेरे काबू में। मझधार उसी के हाथों में। पतवार उसी की। तेरी हार भी नहीं है तेरी हार। हसी मन काहे को धरे हो। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार। उदासी मन काहे को धरे। तेरा राम जी। सहज किनारा मिल जाएगा, परम सहारा मिल जाएगा। दौरी सौंप के तो देख एक बार उदासी मन काहे को धरे हो तेरा, राम जी करेंगे बेरा पार। उदासी मन काहे को धरे रे, काहे को धरे रे, काहे को धरे, काहे को धरे रे, काहे को धरे, तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेरा पार। उदासी मन काहे को धरे हो, तेरा राम जी करेंगे, तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेरा पार। उदासी मन काहे को धरे हो, तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेरा पार। उदासी मन काहे को धरे।
Thank you very much, Bhai Anand Siru, devotees and friends. At this time, we will listen to the talented Ishana Sahabir. As she is getting ready, devotees and friends, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to our Sunday morning satsang, live from the America Sivashram Sangha.
Sare ga pa dha sa dha pa ga re dha dha sa. Sare ga pa dha sa re ga re sa dha pa ga re dha dha sa. Guru Matra Pita Guru Deva Guru Dev Guru Matra Pita Guru Bandhu Saka Guru Matra Pita Guru Bandhu Saka Tere चरणों में स्वामी मेरी कोटि प्रणाम. तेरे चरणों में स्वामी मेरी कोटि प्रणाम. प्रियतांब तुही प्राणनाथ तुही. प्रियतांब
Beautifully done, Ishana Sabir. Thank you very much. A wonderful bhajan dedicated to Guru. Thank you very much. Devotees and friends, again I would like to welcome each and every one of you, especially our online viewers, to our Sunday morning satsang. Devotees and friends, at this time it's my honor to ask our revered Swamiji, Swami Shiveshwanandaji Maharaj, to deliver this morning's pravachan. But before we do so, we will sing in one voice the Ramayana Sumiran.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार वरनु रघुवर बिमल जसो जोदायक फलदार भूर्यहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देव मोहि हरो कलेश विकार बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम बोलो राम जो सुमिरत सिद्धि हो गणनायक करिवर भरणम हो करहु अनुग्रह सो बुद्धि राशि मोक्ष होई वाचार पांडुचरे गिरिवर रहनम ओ जासु कृपा सुदया प्रभु सकल कलिमल गानम ओम नील सरोरोषा करुणारुण्य पारिजन नयनम ओ हरौ सुमम पुरदार सदा क्षीर सागर शयनम ओम कुंद इंद समगे कुमार मन करुणा शयनम ओम जाई दीन परगे करहु कृपा वरदन मयनम ओम मंदाव गुरु पर कनज ओम कृपा सिंधु नररूपरि ओम मोह तम पुनज ओम वचन रविकर विकराल जासु वचन रविकर विकराल जासु वचन रविकर विकराल
Sitaram, everyone. On behalf of Swami Viswanathananda Ji Maharaj and Swami Shivamritananda Ji Maharaj and the executive of the America Sevashram Shanga, I would like to join Bhaiji Vijay Bisram in welcoming all of you who have joined us here at America Sevashram Shanga this morning for our Sunday morning satsang. I would also like to say a very special welcome to our online viewers. My katha this morning is taken from Ayodhya account of the Ramcharitmanas, and I've entitled it The Boatman and Sri Ram, or as it is popularly known, the Kevat Katha. In this Chaupai, Tulsidas writes,
Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jai Jai Rama. Om Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
मागी नवन केवटुआन कही तुम्हारा मरमो में जाना। मागी नवन केवटुआन कही तुम्हारा मरमो में जाना।
जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम।
चरण कमल रज कहू सब कहाई। चरण कमल रज कहू सब कहाई। मानुष करनी पूरी कछु आई। मानुष करनी मूरी कछु आई।
जय राम श्री राम। जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
So leaving Ayodhya, Sri Ram was about to enter the forest to live his 14 years in exile. To enter the forest, he had to cross the river. And so Sri Ram called for a boat. But Tulsidas says he called for a boat, but the boatman would not bring it. Magi nauna kevat tu ana. The boatman, the kevat, will not bring the boat. One would have thought that the boatman would be all too anxious to carry passengers across the river because that was his way of living. More so when it was Sri Ram. But the boatman refused to bring the boat. I paused a while and I asked the question, did Sri Ram need a boat to cross the river? Vaman, the dwarf, asked for 3 steps of land, a space by him. He asked King Bali. Bali was a very generous giver. Bali took pride in his generosity. Very strange. We can be generous, but if we're not careful, pride can enter our hearts. Bali was the grandson of Prahalad. And Bali took great pride in giving dawn. So he looked at the young Brahmin dwarf very little legs, short legs, 3 paces only. I can give you much more than that. Ask me for villages, ask me for countries. But the boy said, no, O king, I just want 3 paces of land as paced by me. And so Bali agreed. And then Vaman grew in size. He became huge. With one step, he covered the earth. With another step, he covered the skies. And then he said to the amazed King Bali, so now where will I place, or where will I take my 3rd step? And then Bali understood that this was the Lord himself. Humbly he bent his head. His pride was gone. Humbly he bent his head. He said, Lord, place your feet on my head. Let it be the 3rd step. Vaman covered the earth with 1 step. Vaman was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Sri Ram was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Did he need a boat? Lord Krishna, with the pinky finger of his left hand, lifted the entire mountain, Mount Govardhan, to protect his people from the flood that Indradev had sent in anger to drown them. An entire mountain Lord Krishna lifted with 1 finger. And Lord Krishna was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, as Sri Ram was. Then does Lord Sri Ram, does he need a boat? The Lord could have walked on the water if he wished. Instantly he could have been on the other side. But the Lord is so humble. He came to set an example for mankind so he would not break his laws of nature. Before the bridge to Lanka was built, later in Ramcharitmanas we read, Ram again could have crossed. He didn't need a bridge. But what do we see? That Sri Ram prayed with great humility to the sea god. For several days he prayed, and when there was no response, then the world saw something of Ram's power when he started to dry up the sea. So Sri Ram called for a boat to take him across because he's so humble. Why did the boatman refuse? He says, I know your magic power, Ram. Everyone says that the dust of your feet is some magic herb possessing the quality of turning things into human beings. Ram, your reputation precedes you. Everybody knows that the dust of your feet is like a magic herb. It has the quality of turning things into human beings. And how true that is. The dust of the feet of the Lord has the power to change things into human beings. Ratnakar was a robber, a highwayman, a killer. He was a thing. Even if we wear this human garb and we don't express human qualities, we're just a thing. Ratnakar was a thing. But by chanting Sri Ram's name, even in reverse, he became the great sage Valmiki. He became a human being, a perfect human being. Tulsidas, before he became Tulsidas, he was called Anami. Anami means no name, a person without a name. He was addicted to sensuality. He was lost in the pleasures of the senses. He was just a thing. But Sri Ram transformed him into the great Tulsidas. Shabari was an untouchable, low-caste woman, scorned by the world. But Sri Ram, visiting her ashram and blessing her, transformed her into the great Shabari, the one who possessed all the 9 qualities in Nauda Bhakti. Yes, the dust of the Lord's feet has the power to change things into human beings. Sugriv was a coward, a spineless man running from place to place in fear of his brother Bali. But coming in contact with Sri Ram, he became Sugriv, the king of Kishkinda. Vibhishan was an outcast, a thing chased out of Lanka by Ravan, with nowhere to go. But by coming in contact with Sri Ram, he became Vibhishan Lankeshwar, the king of Lanka. Yes, the Lord's feet has the power. It's like a magic herb, transforming things into human beings. So the boatman says, "No, Ram, I will not take you across, because there is this rumor that the dust of your feet is some magic herb possessing the quality of turning things into human beings." In this next Chaupai, Tulsidas writes,
Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
"Chot sila bhai nari sohai, pahana tena kaat katinai. Chot sila bhai nari sohai, pahana tena kaat katinai."
Om Jai Ram Sri Ram, Jai Jai Rama, Sri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
तरनियो मुनि घारिनी होई जाई, बात पराई मोरी नाव न उड़ाई। तरनियो मुनि घारिनी होई जाई, बात पराई मोरी नाव न उड़ाई।
Bolo Ram, 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 Bolo
When Sri Ram remained silent with no expression on his face, the boatman continues, "A rock which touched your feet was transformed into a charming woman. And wood is harder than stone. Stone is harder than wood. So if your feet change stone into a woman, I don't know what it will change wood into, because wood is not as hard as stone." Many Hindus wrongly believe, even if you go to India, you'll hear this, there is no forgiveness for sins. And because of this wrong belief, many people, many adherents of Hinduism have left Hinduism because other religions say there is forgiveness for sins, so people go where they think they'll be forgiven. Is it true sins are not forgiven? While the law of karma says that everything we do, we have to pay for. Yet the Lord is very kind. This rock which the Kevat speaks of refers to Ahilya. Many of us know that story, but I would like to tell it again because it is so instructive. Ahilya was the wife of Gautam Rishi. She was very beautiful, exceptionally beautiful woman. So beautiful that Devendra, the king of the Devas, cast lustful eyes on her. Let me pause a while. Devendra, you said? Devendra is the king of the angels? And he has lust in his heart? Yes, Devendra, the Devas, they're a class of beings higher than us, but they are not yet perfected. They also have weaknesses. Weaknesses which unfortunately sometimes create havoc on earth. They are still governed by the law of karma. They have not reached the state of God realization. And that is why Devendra is not the name of a person, it's a title. Different beings take up that position as one being evolves higher or falls down lower. Just like King of Ayodhya or President of America. You have different people taking that title. So as one person evolves from that state and go higher, or because of his karma he goes lower, another one evolves to that level. So this Devendra decided that he will assume the form of Gautam Rishi when the Rishi went early in the morning to perform his ablutions by the river. He assumed the form of Gautam Rishi and he approached Ahilya with urgent desire. Ahilya was also developed somewhat spiritually. She knew, she could see through the disguise that this was not her husband. She could see that this was the king of the Devas. But she was vain about her beauty, some writers say. And vanity entered her heart and a sin was committed. As Gautam Rishi returned from his morning prayers, Indradev was rushing to leave his hermitage. But the Rishi stopped him. Through his inner knowledge, his third eye, he knew what had happened. And Devendra was given a dreadful curse. He was given srap. And the Rishi said to Ahilya, his wife, for committing this sin, you'll become stone-like. Some people take literally that she was changed into a stone, but I like to think of it that she became stone-like. All emotions, everything became dead. She became just like a stone. She was sorry for the sin that she committed. And she practiced intense sadhana. Day and night she focused her mind on God, repenting for her sin and asking God for forgiveness. My Lord, please forgive me. My vanity caused me to commit a sin, a great sin. And so by the time Sri Ram was in the forest walking, she was ready for redemption. You see how we free ourselves from sin? Sadhana. Sadhana means tapasya, penance. 25% of sadhana, or through sadhana, 25% of karma is removed. In Guru's mercy, 25%. God's grace, 50%. So that rock, Ahilya, was ready for the touch of Sri Ram because she was purified by sadhana. And so when Sri Ram's feet touched that rock, it changed into a purified being. It is said that Ahilya shone with divinity. She shone with divine luster. And Gautam Rishi appeared and he took her hand. Devi, you're now ready to rejoin me, he said. So is there forgiveness for sins? Yes. But we must deserve it. We must show that we're sorry for the sin that we committed. And we did something about it. We did sadhana to show God that yes, we are ready to be forgiven. Ajamil, even though a Brahmin who lived a good life in the early part of his life, he left his family and took up with a woman of ill repute, forgot about God and worship, and was lost in Maya. But at the time of death, when the Yamdutas, the messengers of Yamraj, came to take his soul, Ajamil cried out to Lord Vishnu, Lord, I have sinned. Lord, give me a second chance to atone for my sin. And his cry was so sincere that Lord Vishnu sent his messengers to save him, to save Ajamil from the clutches of the Yamdutas. He was given a second chance. Yes, sins can be forgiven if we are very sorry for the sins that we committed. Sampati, his wings were burnt because of his wrong actions. But by working for God, by helping the Vanars to locate Mavasita, his wings, the feathers on his wings grew back and he was able to fly. So sins can be forgiven. Mahatma Gandhi says, whatever we need is in Hinduism. We don't need to leave Hinduism to go to any other religion to find God. Everything we need is in Hinduism, including forgiveness, dear ones. The boatman says, wood is no harder than stone. What if my boat be lost when your feet touched it? I would lose my livelihood. The irony here is that the boatman is in God's presence, but his mind, the boatman is in God's presence, but his mind was on worldly things. What about my living? If I lose my boat, how would I make my living? His mind was on material things, even though he was in the presence of God. I was listening to a discourse from a monk of the Self-Realization Fellowship a few days ago. And he said during the physical lifetime of Paramahansa Yogananda, Rabindranath Tagore and his party came from India and they were hosted by Self-Realization Fellowship, I think. And one of the people in the party of Rabindranath Tagore said, you know, I'm very impressed with your organization. I'm a renunciate at heart. Can I stay? So the kind Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, says, well, give it a try. So he asked about living in the ashram. So they told him in the morning he'll have breakfast. I don't need breakfast, I only drink a glass of orange juice in the morning. He was professing great renunciation. But the next morning, single-handedly, he cleared the entire breakfast table. The other monks had nothing to eat. And he ate so much that when he sat in the presence of the Guru, Yogananda, he slept away and he started to snore. Imagine you're in the presence of a great master and you're snoring. It's so disrespectful. But not only that, the Guru told some of the disciples, he's asleep, but something in him is awake. I want to show you. So Yogananda started to talk, and then suddenly he said, and she donated $20,000 to the ashram. And the man stopped snoring immediately and jumped up. What did you say, Swamiji? $20,000? He was asleep when the Guru was talking about God, but when he heard $20,000, instantly he woke up in the presence of a great master, but yet his mind was on money, on material things. Now, I'm not saying that material things are wrong. All I'm saying is, if we're in God's presence, if we're in the holy vibrations of a mandir, at least for that time, let our minds be fixed on God. That is why we came here. That is why we're blessed to be in the company of the Lord Himself. What is important here is balance. Balance our lives. Don't be material extremists, so to speak. But here, this boatman, even in the presence of God, is saying, Ram, I cannot take you across because if I lose my boat, I can't make my living anymore. What would happen to me? Guha didn't own much, but whatever he had, he said, my Lord, my land, my house, my family, my everything, I surrender to you. Guha took maximum benefit from his presence of Sriram. There was a yogi called Yogi Ramaya. He was a disciple of Raman Maharishi. Yogi Ramaya inherited great wealth, very wealthy. But he renounced all of that in his quest for God. And he found God. When his guru told him, repeat your guru mantra 100 malas every day, he said, Gurudev, but if I do more than 100, would it be okay? Sometimes you tell somebody, do one mala more jap in the morning. Oh, that is too hard. But here was this young man, when he took the mantra from his guru, he said, Gurudev, you're asking me to do 100 malas. But what if I do more? And he was doing that 500,000-600,000 malas. He was spending 7-8 hours every day in jap. He took maximum benefit from the presence of his guru. Nachiketa, a young boy, was given wealth by Yamaraj. Nachiketa, I'll make you emperor of the whole world. Anything you want, tell me, my son, I'll give it to you, Yamaraj said. You want to marry the most beautiful princess, I'll find her for you. You want to live a long time, I'll give you a long lifespan. But Nachiketa said, Yamaraj, if you give me all the wealth of the world, if you give me a long lifespan, I will still have to die one day. Even if you make me live for 1,000 years, 1,000 years come to an end one day, Yamaraj. And I will not take a single bit of that wealth with me when I die. No, Yamaraj, I want to know what happens to the soul after death so that I can seek truth. So, Nachiketa made the maximum benefit of being Yamaraj in being in Yamaraj's presence. But this boatman is saying, O Ram, I cannot take your cross because I risk losing my boat in this next Chaupai. Tulsidas writes.
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
कृपा सिंधु बोले मुस्काई सोई करो जही तव नाव न जाई कृपा सिंधु बोले मुस्काई सोई करो जही तव नाव न जाई
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
बेगियानु जल पाय पखारू होत विलंब उतारहि पारो बेगियानु जल पाय पखारू होत विलंब उतारहि पारो
जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय
The boatman was being guileful. He wanted to trick the Lord into washing the Lord's feet, but he didn't want to say it openly. The Lord doesn't like it when we try to trick him, when we try to be guileful. Shupnaka tried to trick the Lord by taking the form of a beautiful woman to tempt him. But we know what happened to Shupnaka. She lost her nose and ears. Putna tried to trick Yashodama to suckle the young baby Krishna, to poison him. But we know what happened to Putna. She lost her life. Even Hanumanji took a disguise and went to Sri Ram. And the Lord showed no emotion, did not recognize him. And the man was saying, Lord, you are my Lord, can't you recognize your servant? But Sri Ram remained obstinately silent. Only when he assumed his true form of Avanar that Sri Ram embraced him and said, my child, why were you hiding from me? So now, seeing that his trick would not work on the Lord, the boatman says, Lord, if you must cross, please allow me to wash your feet. And Sri Ram said, Kripa Sindhu. Tulsidas refers to the Lord as Kripa Sindhu, the all-compassionate Lord. Bole Musukai, he spoke smilingly. Soi karu jehi tav na chai. Do so then, O Kevat, wash my feet, that your boat may not be lost. Bring water at once and wash my feet, for time has been lost. Do so then that your boat may not be lost. What is this boat? Yes, it refers to the boat of that boatman, but this boat refers to this body. How many times have we not lost this body? How many times have we not been born in this world and we failed to find God, and we continue this chakra, this cycle, this wheel of births, deaths and rebirths. It will continue on and on and on until we decide to stop the revolving of this wheel when we find God. The Lord says, do so then that your boat may not be lost. Much time has been lost. O boatman, let us go across. So many birds we have come, Anna, Jana, we've come and we've gone. And we've come again. And we go again. How long will this continue? The Lord is saying, much time has been lost. It is urgent. Let us go across. One saint said he sees the spiritual path like a race track. Some people are sauntering along. Some people are walking very slowly. Some people, he says, are sprinting. They're running towards the goal. And some people are walking backwards, he said. Some people, instead of making progress because of their evil actions, they are retrogressing. I remember a line from Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night Dream. A book I did, I think, when I was doing the College of Preceptors examination, where one character, Robin Goodfellow, says, I go, look how I go, swifter than the arrow from the Tartar's bow. That is the spirit we must have. Robin Goodfellow would not rest because he knew his journey was long and he had to go quickly. So he says, I go, look how I go, swifter than the arrow from the Tartar's bow. Tartar being like some women who were warrior princesses. So Sri Ram is saying, much time has been lost. Do not delay. Life is uncertain. Life is unpredictable. We don't know what tomorrow brings. Jada Bharat had renounced the world and doing sadhana in the forest all alone when he became attached to a little deer. A little deer, a baby deer, whose mother died in childbirth, and he became so attached to that deer that in his meditation he was thinking whether his deer was safe or not. Instead of focusing completely on God, his mind was running on his deer. They said he died and he was reborn as a deer. Life is uncertain. Why take chances? He lived through that life of a deer with his human understanding. And when he was reborn at an early age, he renounced the world, became a Muni. And he didn't allow any single thing to stop him. He found God in that life. Bring water quickly, O Kevat, the Lord says, and wash my feet, for much time has been lost. In this concluding Doha, Tulsidas writes,
Jai Ram Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Pagam Pagam Gare Sara.
जलु पान करी आपु सहित परिवार
जय राम जय श्री राम जय राम जय श्री राम
पितरा पारु करी प्रभु ही पुनी मोर तगाये ओलई पारा
जय राम जय श्री
the Lord will test our devotion before He finally gives the gift of Himself. So when the boatman washed his feet and transported him and Lakshman and Sita to the other side, Mother Sita gave a piece of her jewelry to Sri Ram, and Sri Ram offered that to the boatman. I must pay you. This is how you make your living, he says. I must give you payment. But in consternation, the boatman says, Lord, what have I not already received this day? The fire of my sins, sorrows, and indigence have been extinguished. For a long time have I worked for my livelihood, but it is only today that God has given me my wages in full. Lord, you have paid me completely. Why do I need anything else? God will test us to see if we want devotion or we're still attached to materialism. The Lord wanted to pay the boatman, but the boatman refused. Lord, no, I've already been paid. And then Sri Ram gave him the gift of devotion. Sri Ram blessed him that he would always remember the Lord. I would like to end with this verse from a poem or from a song that a saint loved to sing. And the words go like this: O my saint, wake, yet wake. Death will be at thy door, and you will not have time anymore to redeem thy soul. O my saint, wake, yet wake. We're all saints. We don't have to put on special robes to be saints. We're all saints, but the thing is that many of us are still sleeping. We're sleeping saints. We need to be awakened. So the Master is saying, wake. Wake, my saint. Life is fleeting. Soon death will be at thy door. This life is so short. 70, 80, 90, even 100 years are nothing. Death will be at thy door someday. And then you will not have time. Ramayana says, Kalahi, Karmahi, Ishwarahi. When we die without finding God, Kalahi, we didn't have enough time. Karmahi, it was my karma. Ishwarahi, we blame God. We don't blame ourselves. We have so much time. No matter how busy we are in this world today, friends, we have time. If we examine our lives, we have time. Time is not an excuse. Even an hour every day. Yes, give 8 hours or more to your work. Give 8 hours to your sleep. You still have time. We still have at least 1 hour to give God every day. Can't we use that 1 hour to awaken the divinity within us? Then why do we blame time and karma and Ishwarahi? O my saint, wake, yet wake. Death will be at thy door. You will not have time anymore to redeem thy soul. O my saint, wake, yet wake. This is my prayer for all of us. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Swamiji, for your very divine pravachan on this beautiful Sunday morning, live from the America Sivarsham Sangha. Thank you very much, Swamiji. Devotees and friends, again I would like to thank each and every one of you for being a part of our satsang. All our online viewers, thank you very, very much. We have hundreds of online viewers logged on, and I would like to thank them very much. Again, if you would like to be a part of our satsang, our Sunday morning satsang, please let us know. Please inform us by sending us a message via Facebook, or you can contact the ashram at 718-523-7515. If you would like to attend our Sunday morning satsang, please do remember we have limited seating, so it's a first come first served basis. If you request to be here, you will put on the list, and if our list is filled, we will move to the following week where we can accommodate you at the ashram for our satsang. Also, devotees who are here, if you want to be a part of our next satsang, you could let the devotees know on your way out if you would like to be here next Sunday morning. Please do remember, you have to make sure you're here, because there's a lot of devotees who want to be a part of this satsang here in person also. Devotees and friends, we will continue our program. Again, we have the talented Shana Sahabir, who is celebrating her birthday. It's my honor again to ask her to sing another bhajan for us.
गुरु मेरे पूजा, गुरु महाराजा, गुरु मेरे पार ब्रह्मा, गुरु भगवंता, गुरु मेरी पूजा, गुरु महाराजा, गुरु मेरे पार ब्रह्मा, गुरु भगवंता, गुरु मेरी पूजा, गुरु महाराजा, गुरु मेरे पार ब्रह्मा, गुरु भगवंता।
Thank you very much, Ishana Sabir, for that wonderful bhajan. Devotees and friends, as we come to the conclusion of our program, I would like to thank each and every one of you. We still have Guru Aarti to be done. I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining, especially our online viewers for joining week after week. Devotees and friends, as another announcement, we have our Navratri celebration coming up. We will be observing all 9 nights Navratri again with the same procedure. We will be fully working with the COVID guidelines, the city guidelines for COVID-19, and the same procedure. If you would like to attend any one of the night, you can inform us by calling the ashram number, send us a message, and let us know if you would want to attend any night. Remember, Navratri 2020 starts October 17th through the 24th. Again, we will be observing all night, and devotees who would like to sponsor us, we have quite a number of sponsors already. And if you would like to be a sponsor of any one of the night, a co-sponsor, you can let myself or call the ashram number, inform us you would like to sponsor any night you desire, and we will let you know if those nights are available. And again, we would like to thank our sponsor for today's satsang, this morning's satsang by Kamala Sabir, in celebration of her daughter's birthday, Shana Sabir. Again, on behalf of all of us, all our revered Swamjis, we would like to wish Ishana a happy birthday and Guru's blessing. Devotees, please do remember to join our online Hanuman Chalisa Path. We still doing our online Hanuman Chalisa Path, so if you are on home, you can participate in our Hanuman Chalisa Tuesday coming every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. with our revered Swami Shiveshwaranandaji Maharaj. Devotees, please remember, Bhojan is prepared for everyone, and we will do what we did last week. We will grab our Bhojan. Bhojan is prepared in box. As soon as the Guru Aarti finish, we will proceed to the entrance and grab the Bhojan right there. We have devotees. If you would like to make donation to the ashram, there member of the executive committee there to accept your donation. Please keep your mask on at all time during Aarti, and we have it throughout our entire satsang too, but I just want to emphasize during Aarti we want you to keep your mask on and maintain the social distancing. Devotees, on behalf of our revered Swami Shivesh and the other Swamis, we would like to thank you for being a part of our Sunday satsang. We will now stand for Guru concluding Aarti.
Om Purnamada Purnamiram Purnatya Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhyayam Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sahasra Sirisha Purusha Sahasra Sahasrapat Sabhumim Sarvato Vritva Atyatishara Dashamagulam Om Sarvata Pani Paryam Tat Sarvato Akshishiro Mukham Sarvata Sroti Maloke Sarvyam Avya Tatishtati ॐ ज्योतिषम् अपि तज ज्योति तमस्य परम उच्यते ज्ञानं येन ज्ञानगम्यं हृदय सर्वस्यावतिष्ठितम् ॐ गतिर्वर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवासरुणं श्रुते प्रभापलाय स्थानं निदानं वेदवर्ण्यम् ॐ त्वमादिदेव पुरुषा पुराणा त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम् त्वमव्यास सरस्वता धर्मगुप्ता सनातमस्यं पुरुष